What's going on, good people? Rich here.
It's your girl Ray P, and we are back for another one. What's going on, Rich?
Hey, slow motion, man. Back at it with another episode of the Culture Garden podcast. We appreciate y'all tuning in. Really do appreciate. I was reflecting, man. And we just conversations with people, and it's like, man, we really appreciate y'all. That's why we call
I
y'all Culture
really be
Garden.
listening to this shit. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's nuts. That's really nuts to me. We really call y'all Culture Garden family. We say
For sure.
listeners. I don't think you'll ever catch us saying fans because
That's weird.
there's some regular. Well, me in school, some regular niggas. Ray P, that one. But
There.
you know, with some regular folk, man, that just like love movies. And then you add the incredible Ray P with this. So it's crazy to know that y'all just come back week after week and listen to us. So we appreciate
We
y'all. Thank
appreciate
you.
it so much.
If you check the episode description, you'll see our Linktree, our social media page. Check us out. We got y'all. We are currently talking about Run the World on Stars. Such an incredible show.
My shit.
If you need something to binge, I know a lot of people have been talking about I need a new show to watch. Check out Run the World on Stars. You can watch season 1 in a breeze. It's 30-minute episodes. Not even that, 27, 28 minutes.
Yeah.
Season 2, they're about to start episode 4. It's an incredible show. So check us out. Speaking of, I didn't even tell you this, Rachel. Mike Boogie. I mentioned Mike Boogie on the podcast
What's
before.
going on, Mike?
I never asked people how old they are.
Mm-hmm.
I can get an idea. I think K Rob's probably the only person I know how old she is.
Yeah.
And I posted something about Run the World our last episode.
Mm-hmm.
And Mike sent a message and was like, "Oh man, that's a woman from Wu-Tang. I bet that show fire." And I'm like, "My man's that's Maxine, bruh.
Bruh, what?
That's Maxine." And it made me realize like we have an age gap.
Yeah.
There's a large age gap because he said the woman from Wu-Tang. We're talking about the queen, the legend, Erica Alexander. Everyone.
Yeah.
But it was just a funny moment because I'm finally at that age where people know they didn't grow up in the age when she was blowing up and she was that one, and she still is, but he knows her for something else, and it's just funny to me.
That is too funny. I still be like, if I would say Maxine Shaw, attorney at law, definitely Pam from the Cosby Show.
Man. I just said, yeah, man, that's Maxine from Living Single too. Like, so I got to know how old Mike is when I'm gonna hit him up. But long story short, check out Run the World on Stars. She plays Barb on that show. She's incredible. Mm-hmm. That's why we're even bringing up Erica Alexander today. If you haven't seen the movie, there will be spoilers. It doesn't really matter per se. And this movie came out in 2007, so I guess it doesn't matter at the end of the day. There will be explicit content, and we are talking about Daddy's Little Girls. This was my week to pick the movie. Shout out to school, by the way. Obviously, school's not with us today. So me and Rachel, he did want me to tell you. I talked to him today. He did want me to tell y'all that this movie's trash. That's from him to the listeners. I think I know what he means by that, because this movie is a little bit. It's not at the Apollo. The filmmaking is a little bit amateur. But Tyler Perry got much better as a filmmaker. The film itself and the acting itself was good. The way it was edited and put together is not what you're typically used to, especially in later Tyler Perry films. But I don't think this movie's trash at all.
I don't either.
Getting into it, this was my week to pick. And if you would have told me that I would have been the person to pick the first 2 Tyler Perry movies, I'd have called you crazy. So this is my second Tyler Perry pick. It just hit me that Father's Day weekend is coming up, and that's not why I picked this movie. The reason I did, I was having a hell of a time choosing a movie this week. I had like 4 or 5 different choices. I'm not gonna lie, man. I usually don't tell y'all what movies I'm thinking about, but I almost got as ignorant to do You Got Served. Like, I was real close to texting y'all and say, let's do You Got Served. And I probably would have ended up doing it by myself.
Maybe I would have hopped on with you, see what the fuck you were talking about.
Yeah, but I knew I didn't want to talk about that. I was clowning myself. So I ended up on Daddy's Little Girls, mainly because I wanted to try something with people we haven't talked about that much. You know, we only talked about Idris when we did This Christmas, and I don't think we've talked about Gabby Union on the pod.
I don't think so.
I think School and myself briefly mentioned her during our DMX episode. We talked about the films that DMX has been in, but I don't think we've ever had like a feature film about Gabby Union. So I'm like, all right, let's try to switch it up and have that conversation. So that's really why I picked the film. And it's in my top 3 Tyler Perry films.
I was just going to say that. This is definitely in my top Tyler Perry. Probably only second to Why Did I Get Married? The first.
Then I think I have The Family That Prays above this. I think it falls behind Family That Prays and Why Did I Get Married. But it's definitely top 3 without question. Yeah. Synopsis: a mechanic and his family are struggling to make ends meet with his ex-girlfriend and her drug-dealing boyfriend. He struggles to get custody of his children during the way he falls in love with his attorney. This falls under the drama romance genre. It also should fall under comedy because this movie is, if you look at it from a certain angle, it's funny as hell.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk to you about it.
I want to know what's funny. I don't know what I think of this. I like it.
I got some ideas and some thoughts. And I'm gonna tell you how I look at Tyler Perry films as a whole.
Okay.
We'll get to it. As far as stats go, it was released February 14, 2007, Valentine's Day. Directed and written by Tyler Perry. It was his second feature film that he directed, and it was the first feature film without Madea. A budget of an estimated $10 million and made $31.6 million worldwide.
Period.
His first film, Diary of a Mad Black Woman, he did $22 million. Second one, I think, was Medea's Family Reunion. That did 25. This was his third one, 31. So the numbers just kept running up.
And they still going up.
It's still going up. Tyler Perry out here getting it. And currently, this movie is streaming on Tubi, America's favorite streaming app. As far as awards, it didn't win any, but Idris was nominated for a BET Award for Best Actor. Speaking of cast, we have Idris Elba as Monty, Gabrielle Union as Julia. Tyler Perry always had Gabby Union in mind when he wrote this role.
I can see that.
I can see that too, because I obviously don't know Gabby Union, but I feel like there's a bit of her in that character. She even said as much, and she maybe dramatized it a bit, but she did relate with Julia a lot, especially during this time, 2007. This is pre-D Wade, single Gabby in Hollywood, all that kind of stuff. Lou Gossett Jr., the legend, as Willie. Tasha Smith as Jennifer. Melinda Williams as Maya. Tracy Ellis Ross as Cynthia. This movie made me realize I really want to see Tracy Ellis Ross in more movies.
Okay.
I do. Like, I want to see her be the lead in a rom-com.
Did you watch what was the movie? It was basically her version of Double Platinum.
I think I probably didn't because I can't recall.
It came out a couple years ago. She and Ice Cube. He was her manager. She was a singer. I can't think.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about, but I did not watch it. I need to check that out. Maybe we'll do an episode on it soon. The High Note?
Huh?
The High
Note. Yes.
Was it good? All right, we'll keep it moving. Terry J. Vaughn as Brenda and the McClane sisters, who all use their real first names. We have Sierra, Lauren, and China. They're still working in Hollywood. Shout out to them. As far as the origin goes, Tyler Perry said he had a hood friend that was always on the phone. And he would be thinking to himself, man, what woman he talking to? And he ended up finding out he had these little girls, cared for him real deeply, kind of flipped that stereotype of black men and their children, black men from the hood, should I say, and their children. And then he also had another friend who was in corporate America, couldn't seem to find herself a man. And he told himself one day, this sounded like some Boondock shit, but he said he told himself one day that what if these two people met? What would that look like? And that's where the script of the film came. That's Tyler Perry words, not mine, y'all. So
I'm not mad at that. I like a little a roughneck.
Opposites attract.
That's the problem.
Opposites attract. Ray P, do you remember your first experience with this film?
I had to have watched it at home. I know I didn't go to the movies to see this. And I would think, 2007, I was in college. But I think, honestly, somebody might have had it on from the DVD man. And that's where we watched it.
Okay, then. I can't recall watching this in the theater. And I saw everything but Diary of a Mad Black Woman in this. I think I saw from his first movie up until Why Did I Get Married 2 in theaters. I vividly remember that every other film, but not this one. And I'm pretty sure I just saw it on DVD. and was really pleased because I remember being surprised with how much I liked it because when you have Diary of a Mad Black Woman and Medea's Family Reunion, the character Medea, we talked about it in Diary of a Mad Black Woman. It's kind of cartoonish. It can be a lot. It can take away from the film, even though you do need it at the same time. But just to see regular people going through regular things, that's what really stood out to me. It's a 2007, so this isn't Idris in 2023. This is a couple years off the wire, Idris.
Right.
Not the star that he is, but obviously is gaining some steam in Hollywood. Bad Reunion, same thing. I mentioned this is pre-D Wade. Not saying that D Wade does anything to elevate Gabby Union, or the things that she's done prior, but as a celebrity, it's grown so much from that time to now.
Yeah,
you see them a lot as a couple and stuff like that. So that's what I meant when I said it. But it is very. I can go back on it, and even though the filmmaking wasn't the best, it's still a good movie and a good story, and I enjoy it. I actually still enjoy it, especially the second half of the movie.
Yeah, I actually wasn't really super mad about cinematography and stuff. I think that obviously it sort of falls into some of the Tyler Perry tropes, I guess. But I wasn't mad. It wasn't like Acrimony, which came when he had big budget, but the cuts and edits were crazy. Shit didn't make sense. So I felt like for what this was, especially for it to have been so early, it was the storyline was streamlined.
Yeah, absolutely. I love, like I said, the storyline. And maybe I'm thinking about when he's directing Why Did I Get Married and just how better.
How much better it was.
How much better it was from a cinematography standpoint. Like I said, he's gotten better with each film. I didn't see Acrimony, so I can't speak to that.
It's something.
Yeah, like I stopped watching Tyler Perry movies a minute ago, but I'll catch up, especially for the pod. If we ever talk about any of them. That's with Taraji, right?
Yes, that is with Taraji. She's the main character. And low-key, shout out to Tyler Perry. He just bought BET and VH1.
So. Yeah, shout out to Tyler Perry. Straight up. I said it on the first episode. As much as you can make fun of Tyler Perry and kind of have your thing with him, salute to that man.
Yeah.
Salute to that man. He out here getting it. And you got to respect that.
He's keeping these Black actors working. So I'm here for it. I'll always respect you for that.
Yeah. So whatever you say about him, make sure you mention that part too.
Right. Straight up. And paying him the worth.
Classic or not?
I'm going to say yeah.
Overall classic or a Tyler Perry classic?
I was just about to say, I think it's a Tyler Perry classic and culturally relevant Black movie.
Absolutely. I agree with you on that. I don't even think it's close. I'd be curious to find someone who doesn't have it in their top 3 easily. I couldn't imagine it's not being in everybody Tyler Perry's top 5.
Yeah.
It'd be hard to imagine that. Really is a good movie, man. I rock with this movie.
It is.
All right. So we're going to talk about best scenes / moments. Not every scene was worth getting in depth with, but there were, especially like I said, towards the back half of this film, there were things to kind of pick away from in a lot of these scenes, or little funny lines and moments. So we'll just kick it off back and forth.
Okay.
I'm going to start with the funeral scene.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you why I'm starting with the funeral scene.
My mama.
Joe is hilarious.
Yes.
The character of Joe, when I say this should be a comedy,
man.
And I'm not saying he's not funny or he gives funny lines. The idea of Joe is hysterical to me. In Tyler Perry world, from the way he dresses to that weak ass fitted hat to the way he holds that trigger finger to the way he's fake tough. Like all of this is comedy. So I started looking at this shit from a big perspective, right? What if Tyler Perry has a universe similar to Marvel or Star Wars, right?
Doesn't he?
So here's what happens. Okay? Joe should be in jail because he pulled the strap out in the courtroom in Diary of a Mad Black Woman. Shot Charles. There was some kind of technicality. You see in this film the kind of flex he had in the neighborhood. Even though he did it in the courtroom full of people, just roll with us, all right? Just roll with me on this.
Okay.
He got out. his attorney, the black dude that was rolling with Charles, he realized that Charles went out like a sucker. I ain't going out like that. I'm gonna flip to the other side, so I'm gonna start representing the drug dealers. That explains the first scene. You know, he ends up getting Jennifer. Is that her name? Jessica. Jennifer.
Yeah, Jennifer.
Ends up getting Jennifer. They at it. Now he's back on the street. Joe's really turned. He's in the penthouse acting like he God, according to Jennifer's mama. You know, he back where he was. Charles somewhere. We don't even know where Charles at. Like I said, he down bad. He's trying to get
hobbling.
Case is. He ends up abusing Jennifer. You know, after this movie ends, Joe ends up abusing Jennifer once they get out of jail to the point where she can't take it no more. So she's still a little bit crazy, but she knows she doesn't want to live that life. So she ends up finding my man's from Why Did I Get Married? They ended up getting together.
Who? Mike?
Yeah, so she ended up finding Mike. They ended up getting together. Like I said, she's still a little crazy. She had to get protective custody because that nigga Joe wild. So she had to change her name to, what is it? And why did I get him?
Sheila.
No, Sheila
Jill Scott. Sheila's Jill Scott. Angie.
So she had to change her name to Angie. That's one of those little secrets she's still keeping from Mike and the crew. You know, it's a whole Tyler Perry universe. I'm telling you, there's something.
But they went to college together.
Exactly. You know, she ended up meeting this woman named Sheila, who one day decided she was going to drive up that mountain to save her.
Will you go to hell, please?
So Joe is like the central figure in all of that. He kind of kick-started it. He's a Tyler Perry all-star. So that's why I have that scene, because it's ridiculous. That's why I have it. You gonna let my mama die and not tell me? Real method actor.
Man, it was so silly. But shout out to Joe, because really every time I see him, one, doesn't he always play a thug?
Wow, yeah, why wouldn't he? He's so great.
He is. Every time I see him, though, I say, "Welcome to Franklin Town, nigga." If you've seen Pride,
hell yeah, I see Pride. Damn, that's what I should have picked. I couldn't think of that. I should have picked Pride.
That's one of my favorite movies.
I rock with Pride. That's my joint.
So I just, every time I see him, that's what I say to myself, because that shit is silly.
Hey, sincere shout out to Gary Anthony Sturgis, like, who plays Joe. I know it's silly and I'm clowning, but I really appreciate your role in these movies. And I know it's not for the reason y'all hope, but that's just comedy to me. Every single scene with Joe, I love.
Man. You're silly. Okay, so I'm going to go to meeting Julia for the first time. That whole car ride, or Monty meeting Julia, you know, that whole car ride was pretty ridiculous. She was rude for no fucking reason.
Of course she was.
And I know that there are people like that, but gross. I hate people like that. But it really let us know who she was gonna be. Even though, you know, opposites attract. We have that storyline that says a tale as old as time, but I didn't know how long it was going to take for that relationship to unfold, but I just liked it just because it introduced us to who they both were. And Monty was so irritating, making noise like, "Sir, this is a business ride. You see, I'm a professional. I don't want to hear this fucking music. I don't want to hear you fucking beatboxing." Like, yeah, she was rude, but Monty was also on some other shit. Like, nigga, you ain't got no smooth jazz. This is Atlanta. Stop playing with me. Even if you couldn't just be silent, you know, like, what are you doing?
Nah, he couldn't do it. He said he wasn't built for it. That's not him. He didn't know how to be professional.
Man,
stop. But he was wilding. He was
wilding, right?
You know Monty has enough sense as a character to know he shouldn't have been doing that shit.
Exactly. You know? Exactly.
Because he's from the hood, but he's not a hood nigga.
Right. Right.
So, and we see how he takes care of his girls and all that. So you're 100% right. My next scene, Joe and Jennifer seeing Monty outside of the court as a driver. I already went into my Joe spiel, how much I love that character. Listen, man, when Tyler Perry decides he's going to make you a villain, he makes you a fucking villain. You the Joker out this bitch.
Yeah.
Because Jennifer, Tasha Smith's character, was so over the top.
So ridiculous.
That's the word for it. It was so ridiculous. I'm about to go get me a drink. You want one?
Yeah.
I know that's not this scene, but there's certain things that just overemphasize. She's a terrible person and mother. But just her saying, "Look at you looking like a little master boy." You see this brother right there? If I so much as break a nail, would you be that? Like, you into that, Rachel? Would
Into
Joe be your
what?
type of dude?
Huh?
Would Joe be your type of dude? Now that I think about it, the way she described it, would be your type of dude?
Has Joe been my dude?
If I so much as break a nail, he will shut you down.
Yes.
I'm just curious.
That's the yeah, nigga.
Yeah.
My whatever. Thorn in my side is be like, the expectation is that I would lay down my life for you. Yeah, nigga, duh. So
Yeah. But if you breaking any inconvenience, it's over.
Yeah.
It's all right, man. That's
That's
cool.
the kind of time I'm on. But let me tell you, I wanted to make this a favorite scene, but I couldn't because I hated that. Look at you looking like a master boy. Look at old step and fetch it. Just it wasn't even accurate. Like,
like
I have on a suit. What are you talking about?
Mosey on down. I think that's the part that pumped it. That scene, right? That moment, mosey on down, was what pumped it into my favorite scene. Because, like you said, that shit is so ridiculous and over the top.
Ridiculous.
It's like, I can't stand this woman. He got to sit there and take it.
Ugh, so dumb. So dumb.
That's why I made my best scene. Mosey on down. Shout out to Mosey on down. If it wasn't for that, it would have got left out.
And again, Julia being unnecessary. Are you gonna get my door? Bitch, I'm trying to tell you it's these women in your car. Like, I'm trying to help you. Whatever. So let me be honest. Before I even rewatch this, I just start putting my favorite scenes from this movie on my list.
I love it.
So my shit is kind of all over the place. So we jumping.
So is this movie.
I'm gonna jump. Let me jump to the car ride. Well, I'm gonna stick with we streamlining. The car ride with Julia's friends, Brenda and Tracy Ellis Ross.
Cynthia.
Huh?
Cynthia.
Brenda and Cynthia. First off, if you're my friends, don't be talking about my lack of sex life in front of these random ass driver. We don't have a privacy screen or anything. Like, this is a fine black man, whether he's the help or not. Like, don't do that to me. That is so embarrassing. So I like that, but it also let me know what type of time them bitches was gonna be on. And we'll get to it because my other favorite scene in regards to them is when Julia was telling them that she was feeling Monty, like, I'm fucking with this nigga. This is a classic example of how your friends be having you fucked up. And how they be secret haters. And they both are married or at least in serious relationships with kids and this, that, and the third. If you don't let this woman be happy, he ain't kicking her ass. And yes, classism. I want you to be with somebody on your level, but you don't know what that motherfucker is doing. He wasn't a bad dude. He just ain't had no fucking money. Like most niggas. And I'm not talking about just like black men. I'm talking about like niggas, period. Yeah. The media income for black people is not high. So you are a lawyer in your father's firm. Your money look a little different than the average Joe. Consider Maya, who was her assistant, who I'm assuming was making a quote unquote livable wage, was living next door to Monty, the part-time mechanic. What's going on? Man, niggas don't have no fucking money. Okay.
you make a good point. It's funny because I'm glad you got into that. I wanted to ask you if Brenda was out of pocket for coming at Julia like that.
Yes.
I mean, she didn't even shake my man's hand at the aquarium. I remember you. Like, I don't like when people treat people. It's one thing to have your opinion about them.
Yep.
and not fuck with them, but keep it cordial. Even if you know you can know, both of you know you don't fuck with each other, but keep it cordial in public. But just the disrespect, looking at my head up and down, what you want?
For real, because now I'm not fucking with you. Don't do that.
You talking about Brenda?
Yeah.
If you were Julia?
Yeah, bitch, what the fuck is you on? Don't treat my man like that. I don't like it. Don't be rude. Again, rude for no fucking reason. Like, bitch, you don't have to treat this man like that. He's not been disrespectful. He ain't looking like Who Shot John. You know what I'm saying? Like, he ain't no sick ass nigga. Why are you treating him like that?
Okay. I'm
the glad nigga got kids? Who don't?
Hey, not what she say. It's not if, how many.
How many, right.
Mm-hmm. They all got the same mom. Like, she was on one.
She was on one. Classist and egregious. Shout out to Joan Clayton.
Mm-hmm. Straight up. You have anything else to say about that scene?
So because I definitely merged them two scenes.
Yeah, go ahead, do it. Do your thing.
About those two, nothing in particular. I like Monty was laughing at that shit, trying to hide it in the car, and I respected Julia for being embarrassed as she should have been. I'll move into, I guess, the blind date. I've never been on a blind date.
So, all right, time out. Let me kind of
go ahead.
I'm gonna weave you back in.
Weave me.
I have both of the blind dates.
Okay.
On here, so let's just talk about them together.
Okay.
My first question is, even though you've never been on a blind date, that's what I was going to ask you. Mm-hmm. Have you ever been on a date as wild as either one of those? Well, let me take it back. The second one wasn't wild, but it ended up a certain way.
Yeah.
So, have you ever been through a similar experience? Not tit for tat, but just some. I can't wait to tell somebody about this dumb shit. So that's my life.
Right. In the lowest of keys, maybe not Craig Robinson's character, but Brian White, some silly shit.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So Craig Robinson, once again, you know, I never make a fool of you. I'm kind of embarrassed to admit how many times I don't still say it present day, but there was a moment in time where if I heard your name was Julia, maybe because I don't meet too many Julias.
Yeah.
But that comes to my mind instantly. It's like those memes when you says like don't do it. But then my mind just say Julia.
Yep. Never make a fool of you.
This was and always has been one of my favorite Tyler Perry scenes, not just in this movie, but there was a moment when I remember just continuously laughing out loud at this scene. This before I really knew. What you say?
It was so ridiculous.
Yeah, it was
good ridiculous.
Yeah, and I don't remember. I don't remember Craig Robinson. Like he wasn't big time Craig Robinson to me. Mm-hmm. So he was a new character, and I just remember like, who was that dude from that scene? He was funny as hell, and I learned more about him. And
do you watch The Office?
Yeah.
Okay.
I wasn't watching it in 07.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know. Yeah, I wasn't watching it in 07. I love The Office, but just his whole demeanor, the
suit.
I heard you're a lawyer, so you got this thing right, and him being dead ass serious is what makes that funny. She said the check, yeah,
check.
I'm not gonna lie. Those scrimps and scrimp hot sauce and fries don't sound terrible.
Come on, I wouldn't mind some right this second.
But him looking at that waiter and asking,
"Y'all got some scrimps?"
No, man. That nigga said, y'all got Chinese food. That shit's so ignorant. And I love Julia's face and her reaction. Like, I can't believe this nigga just said that.
Because what the fuck? But what the fuck? Why would y'all hook me up with this nigga?
They were trying to be funny. Maybe they didn't even know him either.
Don't send me out with nobody you don't know.
That's the only thing I can think of. Because if they saw the Monty,
come on,
there's no way you knew him. Which is even more.
At least Monty got a job.
Yeah, why you sending your homegirl on let's talk about that. Why you sending your homegirl on a blind date by herself with somebody you don't even know? You can't even back for him.
That part.
I know we're looking at this a little too deep, y'all. Obviously, this is a funny scene in a movie.
Undercover haters. I
Think about
already
it.
said it. Y'all hate me. Y'all
Mm.
jealous? Bitch.
Going back to that scene, I really do love the way that the waiter like played with him. Like, I'll bring your scripts right away. Like he actually
Yeah.
said that shit back to him because, bro, you just ignorant as fuck.
Right.
And him telling her that she was a rapper. I said, "How old are you? 40? Aren't you a little old to be a rapper?" And that one line where he says, "Why everybody keep saying that?"
Bruh.
The way he delivered it, Craig Robinson was just on point in this scene.
You know what it made me think of? Yes to all of that. But it made me think of Five Heartbeats.
Which part?
At the end, when them 40-year-olds was trying to rap.
Oh yeah, with oh yeah, the two cousins.
The two cousins.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
some silly shit. Why don't you get into the second one?
They had a beautiful date. And that even that reminded me of Just Right. Minus obviously the pregnant wife and child, but it reminded me of Queen Latifah's date with Laz Alonso. We vibing. It's beautiful. Shit is good. This is Julia said she even thanked the Lord for this man, for this date, because damn, ain't that how it be? You think it's one thing, but it's really another.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Lord have mercy. I felt for her in that moment because it's like, damn, I got my hopes up, especially after experiencing that other bullshit. Like, here is this man, he's a lawyer. So you got money ish. You know what I'm saying? We, on a surface level, appear to be more equally yoked, quote unquote. This is a Tyler Perry movie, so we can make it churchy. Um, and then to turn around and here comes your wife, pregnant wife and Junior, little Chris, stay away from my daddy, Tramp.
Mm-hmm.
And that fucking eye roll. Shit is silly. I felt bad for her. I didn't
Ridiculous.
feel bad for her often in this movie because, again, unnecessarily rude, but I did feel bad in that instance.
If you've been listening to us for a long time and you're familiar with Ray P, whether it's on Culture Garden, whether it's We Got Y'all, she is great for a quote. There are many, one day I might just go through and try to find some of Ray P's best moments and most iconic quotes. But one of my personal favorites, and I can't remember where you said it or what movie we were discussing.
Ooh.
Ray P said, "Won't these niggas embarrass you?"
Won't they?
And that's the first thing I thought of when I saw the wife pull up and he was about to kiss that woman. That was
Come
probably what she was
on.
thinking. Won't these niggas embarrass you?
Won't these niggas embarrass you? Both of them. The wife, you got to bring your bellied out self out in the heat of the night with your child in this minivan. Embarrassing. And now Gab, little Julia, you thought you met your fucking soulmate or the potential your next great love, and here this nigga is married with a kid, a dog, and one on the way. Are you kidding me?
Sicko mode.
Embarrassing.
That's sicko mode. He wild. What is he on?
Crazy. Niggas are unhinged. Like, this is some sick shit.
Oh shit, man. Can't make this up. Shout out
That
to
was
Kevin
so sad.
Samuels, man. Can't make this shit up.
Literally, I'm sure that has happened. There's too many stories with similar instances, so I know things like that have happened.
Yeah, Tyler Perry definitely he didn't draw that up off the brain. He knows some shit like that happened.
Right.
My next thing that I got, it's not a scene, it's just a moment. I
Okay.
just want to shout out. It is a Tyler Perry movie.
Mm-hmm.
That scene of keeping the faith where he was in church. Just because if you are church going, spiritual, whatever the case may be, sometimes when you're really down and out, that's all you got. And you just need that message. And when you go, it feels like it's speaking directly to you.
That's it.
And that's how it really happens. That wasn't a movie scene. That's really how life works, especially when you need it the most. So I just want to acknowledge that and shout that out because there's some real bars and real gems if you're going through it that you can pay attention to.
Come on,
Larry always lives with that. So I had to shout that scene out. What you got?
Definitely shout out to that. And I was, I be trying not to make it churchy too much. But yeah, amen. I felt that. And again, you have to remember Tyler Perry comes from gospel stage plays. So all that early shit is gonna happen. Sorry, Lord. So so all those early films and stuff and plays are gonna have like that come back to Christ or a churchy a church scene, definitely.
Absolutely.
Or just like some gems of some faith leader, faith person, speaking a word to you. And people getting what you need. And you know what? In times like these, you just gotta grab hold. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my church for the day. If y'all follow me on Instagram, you already know what type of time I be on.
Amen.
Sanctified sinners unite. I am going to go to Monty losing the kids, getting the call to go to the hospital, and Julia in the car trying to practice what to say to him to get home, just because so you're gonna take me home, Wode. Take me home, brother. Just because that shit was so silly. And I could totally see her doing that and then just being so out of touch. First off, it's inconsiderate. You don't know what kind of life this man has. He didn't know he was gonna be working all day and all night for you, just on call. You let your other driver go home. Why? Because you knew that was some silly shit you did to Monty. So I didn't love that. But then even that whole hospital scene, your boy Joe.
I was out here wilding again.
Joe and Jennifer acting a fool in the hospital. And you can do better than me. And we haven't gotten the things that bother me. But if Maya lived next door, why she just didn't watch the kids in the first place?
Miss, listen. So there was a moment in this film where they were talking about they helped Monty. It might have been right outside of church. I can't remember exactly
when she and Aunt Ella was saying they would babysit.
Aunt Ella said, "I'll babysit." Yeah, I'll babysit too. Nigga, why wasn't you babysitting when my kids the fire happened?
Right.
What you on?
What was you next door?
Where was your antennas?
Come on. Well, she broke the door down.
But shit.
They could have just been over there. Yeah. You knew Monty ass was still at work.
Yeah, man. Maya had some action. She was like Cynthia, Tracy Ellis Ross. She was like, I gotta go.
Period.
I got a man waiting
on me. Yeah. I know that's right. Shantae's got a man. Go ahead.
You want to tackle? Well, we can tackle it together. Okay. Monty and Julia's date on her birthday.
Yeah, that's my next scene. Julia's birthday. That's probably my favorite scene in the whole movie.
Watching this scene, I knew for a fact. First of all, live music.
Number one, you already know I'm going up for it.
Second off, the nigga you feel protected under.
Period.
And third, in a dangerous environment.
In the ghetto?
Third, in a dangerous environment. That's the trifecta for you, Ray P. Don't let them give you a drink.
Period.
That's just a bonus.
It's lit.
That's just a bonus. So I knew this was your favorite scene.
Come on, you know me. You know me. I'm trying to tell you.
But
take
just
a
for those reasons,
wild side, baby. Huh?
I was gonna say, just for those reasons alone, honestly, this makes a great scene. There's nothing. All that, dinner and walking the park shit is cool, but like when you want to get to know somebody, and you don't have a choice but to be who you are, you go to a spot like that.
Yep.
And I love the fact that it wasn't on no date shit. It was genuinely like, it's your birthday?
Come
on. You about to go home?
Period.
Nah, I ain't about to do you like that. Let's slide. Yeah. And that's when they realized, and remember Monty even said in that scene, she a little too white bread for me.
Too white bread for me.
But that's when they realized, you know what? Last night was kind of a thing. And the best ones are the ones you don't see coming.
Exactly.
Like, damn, I woke up and actually was thinking about you. Like, all right, bet. Like, we can see what's popping. I love that scene. I love everything about it. Like I said, I love the fact that Monty it said a lot about his character. He's caring. He's thoughtful. Yes, we got off to a rocky start, but just from black man to black woman, I'm not about to let you go home on your birthday.
Yeah.
I'm just going to make sure you have a good time. He was respectful about everything. Real cool. We had another Tyler Perry All-Star, the singer. It was perfect. I'm gonna let you hop into it.
It's either Lamar or LeVar Davis. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I'm gonna find it.
Uncle Curtis. First off, I fucking love him. And if you're a Tyler Perry all-star, then you already know Uncle Curtis sings down. So because it was him, you know, you low down dirty shame. Like, oh my God, I love that shit so much. It's crazy because you really did just take my whole everything.
Yeah, man.
But I appreciate how well you know me.
Ray P know these niggas. I know Ray P.
Fair. But I appreciated that scene so much because, to your point, just in a place that's not necessarily your environment, but once she took those 2 shots, you know, take the edge off, you can get comfortable. You know that this nigga's not about to let nothing happen to you, even though niggas really don't be tripping like that. So don't be acting like that in the hood bars. But
the classic still open?
Yeah.
Shout out to the classic.
Yeah,
man.
shout out to the classic.
Shout out to Toledo, Ohio.
Just to see her for the first time, truly let her hair down, even before being drunk, you know, just enjoying the scene, not being a bitch, taking shots, like being cordial with people who for real, she wouldn't talk to them niggas.
Nah, that's real.
If she seen them on the street. So shout out to that. And you need a real nigga like that's just gonna keep you grounded. And I think that was one of Julia's problems. Like, yeah, you're successful, this and the third, but she's not grounded. So shout out to Monty for that. That whole everything, even Levon, it is Levon Davis.
Yeah, it's Levon.
He was like, you know, be careful. Because again, there is something that comes with those uptight corporate chicks, especially if that ain't really your thing.
Not only that, but that's just I think that's a man thing too, where you hear some shit like, how do you know her? I was a driver. I got a million questions, but I ain't gonna ask none of them. Be careful, my nigga. Because that's a story right there.
Yeah. I like that. Oh, that's my favorite.
I'm watching y'all, and this ain't no Miss Daisy vibe.
At all. And it's fucking Idris Elba. Like, stop playing with that man. God, wow.
Monty even told her, you know, I'll keep you safe. Kind of gave her that look, and like, you safe with me.
Period.
Along those lines.
You said, my panties, you wanted them? Here you go. That's what you said? That's what I heard you say. I don't know.
Oh man. I also just one last thing about Julia. I do appreciate the fact that she let loose and she was still herself. She was still corny doing that lean with it, rock with it dance and it was still on brand for her character. She didn't turn into somebody else. She was just the more real version of her.
Right.
So I really appreciated that.
Very valid point. And then so just leading out of that, them going back to her house again, take care of me, nigga. Remind me to tell you something when we get off about aftercare.
All right.
Yeah, I don't need to know me like that just yet.
But yeah. We'll keep that off camera.
We'll think about the off camera. But you know, they get to her house, and he hadn't been upstairs before.
No, that was his first time there. Because he was like, remember he said, "Are you sure you live here?"
Can't know where shit was. But I like that scene just because, again, I'm still showing concern for you. And make sure you got water. But make sure you got aspirin, because you're going to feel this shit in the morning or in a couple minutes, you know, because you was letting loose. Happy birthday. And again, I keep telling y'all, I really am a lover girl. So any kind of sensual build up to what they could have had that night, I'm all for that every single trip. I love that. Just as nigga, I'm sure. No, I don't want you to leave. Stay with me. Oh, that drunk, stay with me. I know why the Cage Bird sings.
Listen, it was there.
It was there. And I appreciate Tyler Perry for the realness. And once she did get sick and telling him to leave, Monty's reaction, like, niggas really do be throwing tantrums. Like, oh, you know, God damn.
Nah, that was one of the most relatable things Tyler Perry's ever written.
If it was written.
Like, remember when Craig said I had the money right there?
Right there.
That's how it be.
Silly shit. I think it's on. I guess.
I just want to add a couple things to that scene.
Yeah.
I'll say it all the time. Just that genuine moment of a lesser nigga would get her up there and immediately try to pull some shit. First thing you asked her, where's the kitchen? Pouring you some water. Of course, Julia drinks Dasani.
Makes the worst water.
Of course, makes perfect sense. But got her some. All right, I got the water. Where's your bathroom? I'm about to get her some aspirin. I'm really about to take care of this woman. You know, I'm not.
I think she had her toys in the medicine.
That's the thing. That's a question that I had because that's wild. There's a couple things in the scene and things that bother me. Nothing crazy. Like, I love the scene, but just some little shit. I'm like, damn, that's some wild. That's some wild shit. But yeah, I love all of that about Monty in that scene. I'm gonna move on to Julia meeting the girls. I just enjoy that scene. I don't have much to expound upon, but I think that cute. As someone who has known women with children, if there's ever a situation where you're meeting children, it's kind of that tough guy, tough girl type of reaction. The who are you?
Man.
And there's nothing funnier than when, as an adult, a grown-ass adult, you feel on edge about a child. Any other situation, you be like, nigga, get the fuck out of here. But you don't want to say anything crazy to this kid.
Man, so wait, though. I will say this. This shit's still funny to me. I think every time I think about it, I be weak. So I went to go see one of my homeboys. And his son opened the door. And I had met this little boy. I had seen him for years. That nigga opened the door. He said, I thought you lived in North Carolina. I was
like, the kids be saying what they mean. Kids be saying what they mean.
That shit takes me down to this day. Every time I tell his dad that shit, he still be weak like, man, that shit's silly.
He meant that. Fuck you doing here? Fuck you doing here?
You back? You again?
Oh yeah, but just that scene overall, I like how they played it. I like how the girls was on some funny shit with them. Dad comes home, they act right.
Yeah, I want to stay with Julia. I love that. Just because kids really will try you, and what can you say? Because at the end of the day, if the kids don't like you, Chop City, if you got any sense,
right?
But
unless you Jennifer, unless you come between me and my man. They took her over the top, man. I told you, when you were a villain in the Tyler Perry movie, you were a fucking villain.
You were a fucking villain, but you know what? There are people like that.
Oh yeah, 100%. Once again, that wasn't made up.
I honestly don't have a lot left written down. Obviously, the fight scene, the big fight.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if you got more, if you want to fill in, because I think we can get to just.
I just have the fight scene. I have one comment about another scene.
Okay, go ahead with your other scene.
So the other scene is when Julia and Monty are in the car after they drop off the girls back to Jennifer. And they're actually having that real after the aquarium, and she's telling her sob story. All I want to say is being with a nigga for 6 years and finding out 2 days before his wedding and getting broken up with, like finding out he's getting married, is nasty work. Filthy, disgusting. You with somebody for 6 years and he said, I'm gonna break up with you. By the way, I'm getting married in 2 days. How are you even dating, Julia?
It had been some years. She wasn't.
Sheesh.
But niggas, let me tell you, people will say anything. I know somebody, I don't think he listened, but it was some real funny shit. When he got married and his girlfriend found out.
Do I know this person?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay, I'm thinking about somebody. All right, now we know what. We ain't about to do this.
Offline.
We ain't about to do that.
Yeah, but his girlfriend found out, and it was hell. You know, Because how you do that? Like, niggas will say anything to you. And for real, if you're with somebody for so long, unless you just believe niggas are liars,
why you raise your hand, man? Damn.
Unless you just believe niggas are liars, you don't expect the person that you are sharing your life with to just be lying, like bold face ass lies, talking about you with your family. You with your family, all right? Your other bitch and y'all's family, shit like that. So that was very sad. I love and hate that scene because it wasn't believable, but it's real life for quite a few people. So
yeah, man, I just 2 days.
2 days, yeah.
With somebody for 6 years.
Yeah.
She's a piece. Last scene, fight
Crazy.
scene.
Yeah.
Big fight at the end.
The community came together for one beatdown.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, y'all all heard the accident. Atlanta is so big, so I'm not obviously familiar with Edgewood or Edgewater. I think Edgewood. So I will be very curious to see like if that's real and what that actually looks like. But shout out to Monty hitting Joe. They get into the accident and then immediately starts kicking ass. I'm not mad at that. And there's just a frustration with this nigga's beating on your daughter, your littlest baby at that. It wouldn't be nothing to pull me. Like, I have to kill you. I have to unalive you.
What's that shit that they say? Like, they would have just pulled me off of Joe.
Yeah.
That right movie came out in 2007. They would have just pulled me off of Joe. I don't have children, but I guarantee you, you do that to my child or anyone I love. Like, I'm beating your ass until there's no ass to beat.
That's it. That's it. So shout out to the community coming out with their pots and pans and whatever else you could find.
A change is gonna come.
Change gonna come. Come on, classic.
Come on.
What I didn't like about that though was it took too long for niggas to jump in after y'all saw him getting jumped. When it was just him and Joe and him kicking Joe's feeble ass, that's one thing. But once roll out.
Yeah. Hootie-hoo!
Once the squad came out, like, come on, dog. Come on. Y'all just gonna sit here. Somebody do something. And shout out to Miss Ella setting it off.
Shout out to her. I'm really only thing was missing was somebody coming out with some grits. Man. In true Tyler Perry fashion.
That is
her
hilarious.
with the cast iron skillet. Monty coming with the why the fuck do you have this random engine muffler exhaust with you? But
was you just leaving the shop?
Mechanic, so it makes sense. Monty, I'm a mechanic. I can fix my car.
Right.
Right. We're gonna get you together. I love that scene, and to go with that in the courtroom, where everybody decided to flip on Joe, but when Monty was out, they was looking in the sky like I ain't see nothing. Period. That's how it should be. That's how it is.
I love that. It's not, and I said we would end with that. And it's obviously not a favorite scene just because of the nature of it. But leading up that flashback of finding out what happens with Monty's rape case. But beyond that, when Julia was telling the girls, Brenda and Cynthia, about it, I think I hate them more than Jennifer.
I can because they know better.
Yeah, they weren't super supportive. There was no like, is there any way that this couldn't be right? There was no benefit of the doubt. And again, it's 2 episodes of me giving niggas a benefit of the doubt. There was just nothing, and if you're my friend, again, shout out to Nene Leakes, support me, bitch. Like, they were there, but begrudgingly,
Especially so if any of my friends were to tell me a story similar or like that, My first question would be, well, obviously after saying, I'm sorry and all that, my first question to them would be, well, what did he say? What was his response? What was her response?
Right. Mm-hmm.
And Julius would have been, I don't know. I ain't give him a chance. I stormed out. Mm-hmm. As a friend, you want to at least say, no, I know that's all. Because let's be honest, to have that as an accusation, yeah, they know like that's one of the worst things you can be labeled as, along with the M word, and I don't mean murder. So those things are just no go. You don't really get any grace. So it's hard to. It's hard to want to hear somebody out who has that accusation. I can understand the weight of that.
Fair.
But she had enough time to be with him and know his character and saw how he treated. Most importantly, when you're accused of something like that, really pay attention to how you treat women.
Yeah.
And the way he loves his girls and the way he treats every woman that he interacts with. Maya loves him, the whole hood. Like, so I think that would have given a little bit of, that don't even sound like you. What the fuck happened? Whether you believe it or not is up to you. But I do think Monty was owed at least that.
I agree. He could have gotten at least let him explain. But you're a filthy liar. And she wasn't going.
After saying that, I want to double down and emphasize niggas like that should never get the benefit of the doubt.
Absolutely.
You got that charge on you? Nah, bruh.
It is what it is.
It's like a deadly sin. Like,
I'm trying to think. There was another movie with something similar where the girl had lied. Oh, Coach Carter, where the dad was trying to make it something.
Yeah.
And I know that that's not far-fetched. It came from somewhere,
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm glad that he was,
acquitted
and they found out he was falsely accused. I'm really happy for that, and that's the other side of it. If that is the case, I'm when I speak on those things, I'm speaking from the sense that that is true.
Right.
I'm just as sick if it's false and somebody puts that out there about you.
Right.
Just a sick game all the way around. So,
yeah, not too heavy. Let's lighten it back up.
In terms of the movie, Monty wasn't like that, and we all knew that. And even when they give us glimpses of, we know something happened, but we don't fully know. We know it wasn't no real shit that would make us turn on Monty.
A violent crime.
Or if there was something that we would understand, there would be some kind of understanding about it. The same way we understood Joe putting his hands on my baby, about to fuck him up right now.
Yeah.
I'm not waiting till the morning. I'm going to do it right now.
That's it. On site.
No, that's what it is. Got any more scenes? You got any more scenes?
Nope. Okay. The reunification. That's all. No, final happy ending.
Yeah, absolutely. Love a happy ending.
Love a happy ending.
Best quotes. You have anything?
I only have a couple, and we've said a few. But China said, why you gotta be putting my business all out in the streets? What's wrong with you? As somebody who hate their business, let me put my business out. Don't do that to me. I will fight you.
Fair.
We already said y'all got any scripts. Get a life, get a man. When Bonnie said that shit, because I felt that in my soul. What kind of fish is this? Filet mignon. I already said it again. Take me home, Wode. Take me home, brother. And then y'all better be glad I know Jesus. So.
Yeah, that was hilarious from Jennifer. I have some of the quotes you said. I also have when Maya was at the first scene of the movie when Maya was at the shop. That fool can't even see. I saw your mama the night you was made. At the funeral scene when Aunt Ella was Aunt Ella.
That's her name on House of Pain.
Oh yeah, that's okay. Yeah, we'll call her that too. She was Jennifer's aunt in this movie. But when she said you out here holding around with these thugs, it just sounds like some black auntie thing to say, especially at a funeral. Get a man, get a life. I think sometimes that parents have to give up their dreams so their kids can have one. Shout out to all the parents out there.
Shout out to y'all.
And Monty saying, I love me some black women.
Period.
I had to put that down. Scene stealer, who you got?
Craig Robinson.
Same. I mentioned it in the scene how that's still one of my favorite Tyler Perry scenes from any of his movies or work. Craig Robinson, hilarious. Things that bother you. I actually have a pretty decent list.
Okay. I only have a couple things. I mean, I've said it probably throughout in things that are not listed, but Julia being rude for no reason. And then why the neighbor and why Maya didn't offer the babysitter off rip. So those are my two big things. What you got?
Mine are, I just want to preface this by saying, in the world of Tyler Perry, these are not big deals. They're just things that, as a human being, I'm like, what the fuck you got going on?
Yeah.
Why is Joe on the block selling with his crew outside the church? That really bothered me.
Yeah.
Like I get out, and why am I getting out church and you shooting fake pistols at me? But damn, it's Sunday. What happened to the Sunday truce?
Ain't none.
But you being on the block anyway is crazy. Joe's outfits, we talked about that. That shit really bothers me, especially his fitteds. His fitted hats really piss me off.
Yeah.
Jennifer telling her daughter the number one rule in the game is never get caught. No shit. I appreciate that insight.
She ain't know. Like, tell you something.
Just that being said, I know they ad-libbed all those kids with the scenes for real. I mean, all those scenes with the kids. And you can kind of tell in some of them, but that was funny.
Yeah.
Just tell them, number one rule, don't get caught. Thank you. Thank you, Mom.
Thanks, Mom.
Joe and Monty in the principal's office. Rachel.
Yes.
You know how much I love The Wire.
Uh-huh.
It was tough seeing Stringer Bell get hemmed up like that by Joe.
Come on, man.
It was so hard. Every time I watch that scene, it's tough seeing him get hemmed up by Joe and him talking his shit to him. I'm like, nigga, that's Stringer Bell. Where we baying them?
Where's they at? Where's the crew?
Take this fool Joe out. He wouldn't stand a chance on Baltimore.
Not at all. Not at all.
Small thing, like I said, doesn't really matter, but it just bothers me. This movie highlighted the importance of turning the wheel when you're driving in the car on an interior shot. And I wouldn't say this normally, but I'm only mentioning it because it was specifically this movie where I noticed that. So when they shoot interior, for those who don't know, when they shoot interior car shots and they're driving, that's cars like on a lift. It's being pulled by something with wheels. They're not actually driving. But when you turn wheels, like it doesn't, if you don't do it the right way, it looks super fake. And they didn't have the wheel turned at all. And it just looked kind of crazy because his hands was moving, but the wheel wasn't. Yeah. Not a big deal at all. It doesn't bother me, but I did just want to point it out because that's like a cool little movie fact. This is none of my business at all. Men, stay out of women's business.
Please.
What's her dildo in that medicine cabinet?
I've seen that on movies and stuff before. I don't know anybody who keeps their utensils there, but
it seems like an odd storage place. That's all.
Yeah, it's hard to get to.
And the last thing I just had was in that same scene when Monty went back on the room, bro. You in the fucking Timbs just climbing on the comforter, my nigga. Oh.
Yeah. I should have said that as a thing that bothered me because y'all both too grown. I don't care that you're drunk to be having y'all outside clothes on those beds or that bed.
Watching it doesn't bother me to the point where it's, absurd, but it does make me like, damn, why y'all every time take your shit off?
And let me tell y'all, if you're listening to this and you get in or on your bed and your outside clothes that you've been out in, let me tell you, stop that shit.
Keep it real with your dog no matter what. Preach. Shout out to Dolph.
R.I.P.
Come see about me moment. Was Julia going to the courtroom to save him?
It was the right thing to do.
No, not the babies, not with the babies. I'm talking about at the end after she didn't give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah,
coming back to save him. Was that a come see about me moment?
It was the right thing to do, and then he wasn't fucking with it at first. Just help me, you know. I felt like that, but for Monty, when he pulled up on her after she met the girls, that was a cute little come see it. But like, I'm popping up, I want to check in, make sure you cool. Like, clearly it's a vibe. I like that.
At the office?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I would have been sorry.
He was embarrassed though, so then I would have been pissed at you acting like that.
I love the fact that he picked up on it too. Like we see him. And Monty played it super cool about her shit.
I love it.
Like, just tell me what it is so I know how to act.
Mm-hmm.
He know she was embarrassed. I know. I've been here before. I get it.
Right.
Yeah. Cultural moments. The whole movie is a Tyler Perry film.
Whole movie.
Any actors from The Wire? We already covered this. Russell Stringer Bell.
Period.
Not only a classic Wire character, one of the most classic television characters of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Soundtrack wasn't bad. A couple controversial figures, but overall, from a music perspective, soundtrack isn't bad. It went pretty well with the film.
It's not bad at all. That Hold On, I used to play that all the time back in the day.
Hey, it ain't bad.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't let that happen to me. I really don't have anything. I don't think there's much that's preventable.
Right.
There's a lot of silly shit that happens, but that's how life works.
That's how life works. A series of ridiculous events.
Mm-hmm. As far as trivia goes, the only thing that I have is the little boy, Junior.
Mm-hmm.
Get away from my daddy, Tramp. Mm-hmm. That is the McClane sisters' younger brother.
He looked like them.
The wife looks like them too.
It's probably their mama.
I think it's their mama. It would make sense. Like, if you're gonna have my baby son,
mm-hmm.
I want to be in the scene with him versus some stranger. So it makes sense. But she did look like it. Look like them. I didn't confirm that, but I'm about 97% sure that's their mom.
Okay.
And too high, too low, just right. The average viewer rates this film 5.8 out of 10.
Too low.
What you going with?
7.3.
Right, P.
I love this shit. You gonna give it a 7? 6.5.
Nah, it's gonna be above 6.5. I think I'm gonna bump it up a full point to 6.8.
Okay.
See, here's the thing. I'm thinking about this right now. I don't know what the other ratings are from my other two favorite Tyler Perry movies, but I know at least at the minimum for me, they're gonna be 7s.
Okay.
And if they're gonna be 7s at the minimum, Daddy's Little Girls really get some. I'm getting it a 7. I'm giving it a 7.
Yeah.
I'm giving it a 7.
Yeah, man.
I like this movie. As ridiculous and crazy as it is, like you see, as you heard from this episode, first of all, we got an hour out of this. That shit's crazy. Second of all, I like to have fun with Tyler Perry movies.
Yeah.
And even the goofy shit, I find a way to really enjoy it. And on top of it, really was some real, genuine good stuff. And you have Idris Elba and Gabby Union.
Mm-hmm.
You have good actors in this film.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy it. I'm giving it a 7. I came into it thinking it was going to be about a 6.8. But 7, this is why these conversations matter.
Look at that.
Yeah, absolutely. So, with that being said,
we
appreciate y'all tuning in. If you got through this one, as fun as it was, I just can't believe we had this conversation about Daddy's Little Girls. It wasn't what I planned, but it was a lot of fun.
It absolutely was.
It was silly. But good at the same time.
Yes.
Check out the episode description. Linktree's in there. Please check us out on We Got Y'all. If you are looking for a show to watch, like I said, or if you were just a loyal listener, we appreciate you for checking us out over there as well. Don't forget to like, to subscribe, to share if you know anybody who loves films, especially films from the culture, but films in general, and also television. Send us to them. Let us know what they think.
Yeah.
Or let them know what you think about us. Hey, that's what I'm trying to say.
All of that.
Leave us a rating, leave us a review, whether you like it or not. If you want to give us a 5, yeah, please, man. It just helps us and it lets us get seen by more eyes. And we appreciate y'all, just like I said, for rocking with us every single week, for tuning back in. Thank you. Can't say it enough. Ray P.
Rich.
Love you.
I love you.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to school. We love you too.
School, we love you.
Y'all be cool. How y'all be cool?
Peace.